News Radio WHAM 1180 welcomes you to the Seniors Rock Show. The Seniors Rock Show, a lively weekly discussion shedding a bright light on aging with fun, entertainment, and important info for all adults. Join us with your comments or questions. Call or text 222-1180 or 1-800-295-1180. Now, from the News Radio WHAM 1180 studios in downtown Rochester, here's your host.
Well, hello, and top of the morning to y'all. I guess it's afternoon now, but it is a St. Patrick's Day weekend, so we're going to be celebrating all that's green today, and we're going to be talking with my co-host, estate planning attorney Mike Robinson, and we have a special guest, and she's going to be with us for the whole show. And you could say she's heaven sent. And who am I talking about? Well, I hear her laughing up there. Who am I talking about? Well, let me give you a little hint here. Her immigrant Italian parents named her Phyllis Lee Contestable. The Sisters of Mercy order that she was in for 6 years called her Sister Mary Giovanni. And today we know her as the sometimes irreverent Reverend Mother Phyllis Contestable. Oh, sorry, Phil. And she's here with us to share some stories for her with her unique background of, I like to call them shenanigans, including how she got the starring role in the off-Broadway musical Nonsense. And that was the catapult, I think, to where she is today. And she's now doing shows called Aging Ain't a Laughing Matter, or is it? So we thought that was great, and we invited her to spend the time with us today, and I'm happy she's here. She's got kind of a spiritually fractured, bit devilish attitude, and that's a great thing for our show, and we like to have some fun while we share some good information. And she's going to be joining Mike and I in a minute. And speaking of Mike, hey Mike, thanks for skipping the St. Patrick's Day parade to be with us today. It's a special weekend for you too, I think.
It is indeed, and happy Saturday. And yes, it is tomorrow, in addition to being St. Patrick's Day, is the 38th anniversary of the Law Office of Michael Robinson.
Wow, that's awesome.
That is, and so I thought we could have some fun today by looking back at 1986, and we'll play a little bit of 1986 trivia, if you're up for that.
Oh, no, you didn't warn me on this one. I'm not going to cheat. I'm not going to do the old Googling thing, but hopefully they're not going to be really hard. Yeah. And Phil, are you there? Are you going to help me with the answers?
I'm here, my darling. Well, I don't remember too much about 1986, but I was alive then. Let's see what happens.
It must have been a good year.
I think so.
Yeah. And Pam, even though you were not born yet, you can play along as well. How's that?
That sounds good. Thank you.
All right. So
since
we just had the Academy Awards last weekend, so let's start off with that. Do you know what won the Oscar for Best Picture in 1986?
86.
Oh my.
Well, I was home. My oldest child was 7. So I was watching a lot of like Disney things and Sesame Street. Phil, you got any ideas?
I haven't a clue. I have no idea. I was going to say Oppenheimer because I'm still at the Oscars.
Well, it does begin with O, Out of Africa.
Out of Africa. Oh, wonderful.
So,
wonderful music.
That.
Yeah.
I do remember that movie.
But what was the highest grossing film of 1986?
Oh, my. These are
Can
tough
you give
questions.
us a hint?
Yes. Can I give you one, though, that won't just give it away? It also actually, the theme song from that picture won Best Song in the Oscars that year. Take My Breath Away, I think it's called.
Oh, that's the one with Take My Breath Away. That's the singer who died, isn't it? What's her name?
I don't know.
Pam.
It's not The Bodyguard, is it?
No.
Eric Carmen? You mean the recent
guy? That's the one I was thinking, The Bodyguard. Oh. No, it's not that one.
No. Military.
Oh, no.
Fighter pilot.
No, I was watching Sesame Street, Mike. I wasn't watching Army movies.
I hope you don't lay awake thinking of these questions.
Top Gun.
Oh, okay. You should have
Top
said
Gun.
TC, Tom
All right,
Cruise.
staying with music. What won the Grammy for Record of the Year and Song of the Year?
I don't know,
No.
86. It's a void for me again. Childhood
I
was
know.
in
When
my life.
a few years later, I started my Disney era, so I lost it. We Are the World.
Oh my.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was a big one. We should have
that
known
was a
that, Phil.
big one.
I'm a little embarrassed now.
There's a
Yeah.
documentary on now about that, the making of it.
Is there really? Okay.
Yes, on Netflix, I think. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I
there
heard
you-
that's really terrific. I'd like to watch that. I heard they do a lot
Well,
of
very well done.
background.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool
Yep.
stuff. All right, let's switch to sports. Do you know who won the World
Oh,
Series?
gee. Oh, we
I'm
go
just
from
gonna say the
bad to
Yankees.
better.
It's always the Yankees.
It's no, but close, just across
Ah.
town. It was the New York Mets, finally.
Oh, the New
Won a
York
World
people.
Series. And I don't know if you all would remember this, but Game 6, that the Red Sox were up. And so the Mets won in 7 games, but that was the game where Bill Buckner let that ground ball go
Oh,
through his
yeah.
legs at first base, and the Mets came back and won that game and then won the next one to take the series. How about the Super Bowl?
Oh boy. Let's see. No clue.
That was
I feel
the
like I'm in a void here.
So the
right,
Giants.
the Chicago Bears.
Come on,
Right,
Pam.
beat the pay. Remember the Super Bowl shuffle, the video that the Bears did, and
Wait,
Refrigerator
Chicago
Perry was
Bears?
a big deal.
That's my husband's team, the Chicago Bears.
Well, oh no, he's not a Bills fan.
Well, he is now. But
Okay,
I
all
mean,
right,
he does have a blanket that says Chicago Bears on it,
all
and a
right.
mug, and
Well,
maybe
as long as he
another thing.
keeps it in the garage. So, how about this? You guys must know this one. The Masters tournament that year, 1986.
I know it's golf.
Well, there you go.
Pam, you're my sports person. Come on, help me here.
I don't know the
Phil
golfers
is
in
just sitting there,
1986, though. I'll be
has no
honest.
clue either.
Right.
I am clueless.
So
This is
that
like
was
another
Jack
language to me.
Nicklaus's 6th
Another language.
victory.
Did
Oh,
Pam
it was,
get it?
okay. That's like the only one I could think of. So.
You got it? All right.
Pam got the answer right?
I
What
mean,
was
it
the
was after
answer?
the fact, but
That was Jack Nicklaus. Jack Nicklaus, age 46. It was his 6th Masters. He was at that time the oldest winner of the Masters. That was I remember that one. I remember watching that with my dad and my mom and the rest of the family. That was a fun one. How about Miss America? 1986 Miss America. Susan
no.
Aiken
Six
from
was
the
a lost year
state
for
of
me.
Mississippi.
Oh, no.
So, Kentucky Derby winner,
Nope.
Ferdinand.
Jay.
Oh, no.
Not Ferdinand J. I don't think he runs. He runs too much. Certainly not on tracks. How about the women's NCAA basketball champion that year? Significant was Texas, and they were undefeated that year. They were the first women's team to go undefeated since the NCAA started sponsoring women's. All right, let's get away from sports and such. Some notable events in 1986. Some of them not so happy. That was the year, January, I think it was, when the Challenger space shuttle exploded.
Oh, dear.
That was obviously a big news event. On a happier note, the Statue of Liberty reopened after I think it was like a 2-year renovation, and that was in July. It was right around. I think they opened for the 4th. That was a big deal. Something I looked up. Well, so Microsoft had its initial public stock offering in 1986, $21 per share. The closing price yesterday of a share of Microsoft was $416.42.
Wow, that's crazy.
So it was, I did not want to do the math because it would be depressing to see what I would have earned if I had invested in Microsoft back then.
Well, I have a question for you, Mark Robinson, because you're stumping us completely, and all of us are just staring and saying, what? Because we don't have any answers. So let's go back to you now. I have a question for you. You were a young man just getting started in your law firm, the law firm that you are celebrating now tomorrow, 38 years. What do you remember about that first day?
Oh, so, well, what I remember about that first day is the founding of the law office was not intended when I left the house that morning. So I had gone to work. I was working for another attorney. I had just been admitted for about a month, and I went into to work, and the attorney called me into his office, and he said, "Mike, I'm sorry, I can't afford you anymore. I need to let you go."
Oh.
So I packed up my desk and I headed home, and I pulled into the driveway, and my wife came to the door with our newborn baby in her arms and said, "Well, gee, honey, you're home early. What's up?"
Uh-oh.
So so I had to let her know, "Nope, we're done. We're starting a new practice," and that's that.
Well, that is quite a story. And, I think a lot of people start that way. What do they say? One door closes, another one opens. And sometimes those are the things that catapult you into the rest of your life. So cool. That's a cool story. I do have a word for you. I have a stumper word. I want to see if you know this. What is a squirrel's nest called?
Oh gosh, I don't know. Don't
I
talk to a lot of
stumped you.
squirrels.
Yay. It's a dray. It sounds like a rapper, but it's Drey. That is a squirrel's nest because this week I've been looking out my window, watching the squirrels running around and getting their stuff for their nests. So I looked it up and I didn't know either. And I know a lot about animals. So now we all know Drey. That is the squirrel's nest. We'll be right back, folks. And listen, you have to do what you're told now, okay? Stay tuned for the Reverend Mother of Comedy next on Seniors Rock Radio.
And welcome back. You're listening to Seniors Rock Radio. I'm attorney Mike Robinson here with host Joanna Pelvino. And in the last segment, we were hearkening back to 1986, and our guest today has been roasting and toasting audiences since 1986. She is, let's say, she's given the business to many, including politicians and movie stars, names like Tom Golisano and Michael Keaton, or our own hometown Tony Award-winning choreographer Garth Fagan. No one escapes her special blessings.
That is so true, Mike. You do not want to cross her, or she'll threaten to slap the liver out of you or duct tape you to the cloakroom door. I'm kidding, of course. And you know what, though? The fact that she wears a full-on nun's habit, that just adds to her dubious authority on everything that she does. And it's always fun. So, we always have experts on every week on Seniors Rock. This expert is a little different. So let's welcome now to the let's I hear someone talking, but let's welcome Reverend Mother herself, Phil Contestable. Hi, Phil.
And I think we just lost her momentarily, but I'm
Okay.
sure she'll be back. So now we can give her the business, right?
Yes, we can give her the business. And I have to say, she's been very popular. I saw her at Jiva Theater. Recently, she was at the Villages at Unity, and what a riot. She sold out. So it's a lot of fun. She does a lot of shows, and I think she's back with us right now. So welcome back and welcome to the show, Phil Contestable or Reverend Mother.
Good morning, my darling. I can't
Great.
tell you how excited I am that I didn't have to wear my habit today.
No kidding. Because I remember you whipping it off after the Village at Unity show because it
Well,
looks like it's
I
very
whipped
hot.
part
No
of it
wonder they
off.
changed, right? No wonder they changed the uniform.
Really, I know it.
Oh,
Well,
my goodness.
I'm wearing a little Talbot's outfit today. I'm very comfortable.
Yeah,
And
very
very,
good.
very
Very good.
stylish.
Can I take just a second and do a shout out to a friend who's got a birthday today, Bill Barry. Happy birthday. Patty Sauke, happy birthday. My Aunt Claire lives just down the street, and she's that's all she listens to on Saturday and Sunday is 1180. So she's a
Wonderful.
big fan. Aunt Claire's there. So
Hi,
just
Aunt
wanted to
Claire.
say
Thanks
hi.
for listening.
And also our friend Maureen McGuire is, as we speak, at that parade downtown.
That is true.
Maureen, formerly from Channel 8, she was.
Very true.
I saw Rev Mo, I saw you roast Maureen McGuire at her retirement party, and I'm not kidding. I cried, laughed through the whole thing. You are so funny. I look at Mike's got a question for you.
Well, I was just going to ask, how did you get the idea to, wear a nun's habit and tell jokes? Did that come out of your time with the Sisters of Mercy?
Phil, are you there?
I think we may have lost a connection again there. We'll see if we can get Phil back on. Oh, there we are. Very good.
Okay, good. I just wanted to say Maureen McGuire was one of our Catholic kids from St. Agatha's School for the Incorrigibles. So she's done well for herself. I just wanted to say hello.
Very good. So
now, what
Phil,
was your question?
Yes, right before
Joanna?
we lost you, I just wondered, how did you get the idea to wear a nun's habit and tell jokes?
Well, it really wasn't my idea. I had to, under duress, audition for this part in 1985 when Nonsense was opening in Rochester as a road show. It was leaving New York. Okay, are we on? Leaving New York and opening here in Rochester. So they needed a Reverend Mother, and my friend Corinne was the musical director, and she insisted I do it, and I didn't want to do it. I didn't think shows about nuns were funny at the time. I had a little bit of an attitude about do patent leather shoes reflect up? And Sister Ignatius will explain it all. But Nonsense was very popular. So I said to her, all right, I'll do this. But well, I ended up with the part at the Downstairs Cabaret, and the show ran for 3 years.
That's amazing. And I know that you tried out against a lot of other actresses, right? You had a lot of other actresses trying out there. And I think I remember you saying that.
They say there were about 200 and they were all equity, and I wasn't an equity actress. I was a Catholic school music teacher. I didn't have to get
moves, right?
Right. I didn't have to get my health coverage or any of that, so I didn't really need it. But so I was in the show with 4 Jewish actresses that knew nothing about nuns.
Yeah. And you know how to hold your hands right and all that jazz, right?
Right. I was the coach. I had to explain all of it to them, and then so that they could get on board. But it was a little rocky at first, but we got it, and we did the show for 3 years. It was amazing.
Wow. We have a minute or so left here. Do you have a favorite roast or toast memory, Phil?
Oh my. Well, Michael Keaton, of course, is my very favorite. I roasted his brother, who lived in Rochester for a while, for his 50th birthday. And that was quite by accident. You're signaling me. Oh. Okay. Michael Keaton, they were having a big party for his brother at the Monroe Golf Club for his big birthday, and 400 people there. I didn't know. They gave me a list of the siblings, and I didn't know who Michael Douglas was, the famous actor from LA. It wasn't the Michael Douglas I was thinking of, because they said he was 43, and it wasn't Kirk Douglas's son. So I thought I'll make something up about this guy having a famous name or something. And when I got there, the hostess said to me, "Batman is in the dining room." I had no idea what she was talking about.
That's crazy.
So I panicked, and I had to get some information about him quickly. I have 2 other roasts that come to mind. Congressman Joe Morelli and Supreme Court Judge Joe Valentino are friends of mine. And whenever I see them in public, which is fairly often, I usually do a little bit about that we were classmates back at St. Mary's, and we played nun and priest together.
Oh.
And I said to Joe Morelli, "You were the nun, I was the priest." And Joe Valentino knows the bit already, so he's ready for me.
Oh, I don't know if anyone's ready for you. You are something else. We're going to wait through the break, folks, because we are going to be right back with more of Phil Contestable, the Reverend Mother, right after the news on News Radio Wham 1180. Welcome back to Seniors Rock Radio. Our guest today is PHYL Contestable, and she's better known by her stage name, the Reverend Mother. Rev Mo, as we call her, that's her nickname, has a show. It's called Aging Ain't a Laughing Matter. And she's been doing this stuff for years, or I'm sorry, Aging Ain't a Laughing Matter, or is it? And that is playing in Albion for the next few months. And it's in Cabaret B, and it's in a place called, Phil, are you there?
Yes,
It's
it's called Gotta
it's
Dance. It's a
Gotta
big dance
Dance.
studio.
Thank you. Yeah, in Albion, and she's going to have several performances. I know we're going to be going, but what I really love about that, Phil, is that it's in at 1:15 in the afternoon, folks. So you can go and have a lunch somewhere, and then go
It's
to the
great.
show, and it's not late. You don't have to drive home in the dark, and I love that. So we're going to get back on here with Reverend Mother, and I think Mike has the first question.
Well, I was just going to say that cabaret in Albion sounds fun. What other types of events do you book?
Oh my gosh, just ask me to be there and I'll show up. Retirements, birthdays, reunions, hospice visits. The nuns got me involved in that. I didn't think it was appropriate, but for some people it truly is. Hospital visits. I traveled to Santa Fe, Florida, Toronto, Buffalo. I've been very involved with the Baptists in Hilton. I love that church, Hilton Baptist. So I've done a couple shows for them, another one in November. I'm just having a ball doing the tour. The bus tours come out of Canada and Orleans County. They're luxury bus tours, and the seats are open at the cabaret for anything that wasn't taken by that group. So there's usually 10 to 15 seats available for locals to come.
Right.
So you don't have to be part of the bus troupe to
That's
come to
cool.
the show.
Yeah, and the next one, folks, I'm going to tell you it's April 13th, and that is a Saturday, and that's the next one at Cabaret B and Gotta Dance in Albion. So check that
Usually
out on
they're
the
in the
website.
middle of the week.
Ah,
They're
okay, so that's
usually in the middle of
different.
the week.
Yeah, yeah. Wednesdays and Thursdays, I see some following updates there.
Right.
Yeah, cool. And I wanted to tell the folks about something that you brought up with me. You and I kind of ran into each other and had a couple of odd, just crossed each other's paths and I figured, wow, this is kind of crazy. And you said at one point it was a God wink. What do you
Oh
mean by
yeah.
that? Tell folks what you mean.
Um, I don't know. God winks are as they've typified and shown up through my entire life. Um, I've been a cabaret singer for years, but the Reverend Mother role came up mainly because I was in the convent and I passed this audition, and I do know this character very well. So I really feel it's like a ministry for me. It's a ministry of humor and laughter, and I consider it a real blessing. I've met so many incredible people and been offered experiences that I never would have been able to pull off myself. So there really is no such thing as a coincidence. I really don't think there is.
And I agree. I think you're absolutely right. Now, there are so many things that you bring up in the show. Is there anything that you want to share with the listeners? Something that what's the favorite part of the show you do? I know you have a lot of props. Sometimes you don't, like at Maureen McGuire's retirement, you just used information that her family had shared with you, which was hysterical. Uh, Tell folks how you go about this. I mean, how do you pick things? And I know you're looking for artifacts too, aren't you?
We did do the artifacts thing last year for a group of parishes in the city. We had a Catholic nostalgia night at
Yeah.
St. Mary's, which was so successful, and people were giving me all the things that we're collecting in their parents' homes, rosaries and medals and little statues and garden fixtures, and they brought them all to the show, and it was all for free. People took them home. That was really fun. The props I just collect along the way, and people give them to me. I have a favorite book called a book about the saints, saints that you've never heard of before, like Saint Peter Cialis of Viagra. He looks like Saint Anthony, but he's not. And there's the black leather motorcycle saint, Saint Davidson of Harley, Saint Mary Joanna. Oh, I mean, this book that someone gave me is just filled with stuff like that. So I usually say to people, Sister Dementia finds all these things for me. But I have a whole table, a whole big banquet table filled with props. A
Yeah, you
chocolate
do.
thong, a chocolate thong somebody gave me. It's just fun stuff, just fun stuff.
Yeah. And you better check the expiration date on that.
There's no chocolate in that when I ate it, just to be
Oh,
sure.
no.
It's just an empty box.
Oh, no, you are too much.
Oh, good. Just talking here, has anyone ever objected to some of the topics that you joke
Good
about?
question. I will tell you, and I'm very honest about this. A few clergy, 4 or 5 clergy in my career since 1986, I've been doing this. One of them walked out because they didn't get the roast humor. I don't think they had a very guarded sense of their own humor, and didn't really maybe understand what I was doing. But I will say any of the things that I was saying about them were all true. They were all given to me by their families, and the people that objected to it didn't appreciate that. They
Oh,
had
boy.
this persona they wanted to present, and they didn't want people to know about their past. So it was very awkward, but it's only happened probably 4 or 5 times, but it was all clergy, nuns or priests.
Isn't that interesting?
No kidding. Yep.
Yeah. And you were actually in the convent, right, for 6 years? Is that right?
Yes, I was. I took my first vows as Sister Giovanni. I took my name after Pope John the 23rd, who just turned the church inside out at that time in the 60s.
Mhm.
Yeah, great man.
And there's a lot of revolution going on everywhere. And I
Yeah,
know
right.
that a lot of folks left the clergy because they had a
Yes,
lot
they
of
did.
questions, right? They were questioning things. And you were young, and you did marry, and you now have a career after all the things that you've done. It's kind of interesting how it all just kind of blossomed.
I'm very grateful for this career. If one more person says to me, you really should write a book, I know I should, because it's just been amazing, everything that's crossed my path. And it's because I'm doing this. I just know I'm in the right place, and I know I'm going to heaven.
I think you
Very
are
good.
too.
Hey,
Oh
Rev
yeah.
Mo, where can listeners and fans get more information on booking you for a roast or toast or whatever?
Well, I have a website that you can find out more about me. It's called Revmo to Go. REVMO for Reverend Mother, TOGO. RevMotogo.com is the website. And if you want to reach me, it's revmotogo@AOL.com. Or you can
That's
call the Cabaret B for those shows in Albion. But a
Yeah, I
lot of
have
the
that
roasts
number.
that I do are private, so I can't tell you what those dates are because individual people hire me.
Sure.
And this lady's busy. I want to tell you folks, she swims 5 times a week, Mike. She didn't mention that. She's very active, and we love that because that's what we're all about, shining a bright light on aging here on Seniors Rock Radio. And if you do want to call about the cabaret shows, folks, the phone number is 585-354-2320. Phil, Contestable, you are an angel. Thank you for joining us today, and we will have you back sometime for some more fun. But I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thanks
St.
so much. I
Patrick's
love
Day.
this. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Folks, we'll be right back, Mike and I. So stay there. After the break, we'll see you soon. Welcome back to Seniors Rock Radio. Well, that was fun having Reverend Mother on the show today. And that
It
kind of
was
goes along with
indeed.
our Irish roots here. And Mike and I both have some Irish in us, I believe. And you know what? The luck of the Irish might be part of it, Mike, but you also have a say in being healthy, your own health. So, like making a decision to finally get our air duct cleaning, we did our research, then asked indoor air professionals for advice. And we were very pleased what they came with. And the air duct cleaning they did has us breathing and sleeping and cleaning better. And it's great news for spring because I have something to tell you. Anyone can enjoy the same benefits and save big for the rest of March with an air duct cleaning. And hello, you can save 20% on the air duct cleaning. So I recommend you do it. It's a great thing to do for spring and be ready for next fall. And they also have savings on medical grade air purifiers. And they have products by Canberra, and they are, it's a natural, it stops odors naturally, and they have all kinds of things, soaps and things, and it's made from the purest tea tree oil on the market. And I really like those products. I wanted to mention that today, besides the air duct cleaning. So I invite you to breathe easier, sleep better, dust less, and save money on a healthy decision with Indoor Air Pros. Call Peter soon, Peter Gordon. He's waiting. And don't wait like I did and we did. Call 427-8020. That's 585-427-8020. And Peter is at extension 303. Mike, it was fun to have Phil on the show today.
It sure was, yeah. And I mean, just 38 years of the Reverend Mother, and I'm sure we could do several shows and just listen to her tell stories.
Yeah, and we should have opened up those questions you gave us about 38 years ago to the audience, because I think maybe somebody would have had an answer better than us, because we had none.
That's all right. I popped that on you without any advance warning. So
Yeah, see what happens when you don't have Google at your fingertips, folks.
there you go. There you go. So what are you doing for St. Patrick's Day tomorrow?
Well, we're going to have some fun. I'm going over to my daughter's, and her husband is going to be making corned beef and cabbage, Emily and Bill, and all the kids will be gathering. We'll have some Irish soda bread and some hot cross buns and lots of fun, and wear our green. We'll be wearing our green. What about you?
Yeah, I'll throw on a little green, and actually, I'm looking forward to a day to spend at home. I haven't been able
Yeah.
to do that in quite a while. Get some things done here around the house. We're also going to do the corned beef and cabbage this year. We kind of rotate. Some years we do that, and then we'll do an Irish stew or a shepherd's pie. But this year is corned beef and cabbage.
Oh, shepherd's pie, that's one of my favorites. And yeah, it's fun to do the traditions. I do love that. And I think a lot of times I worry that the young ones today are not getting some of the traditions that we were brought up with. So it is fun to celebrate. And I know the kids are looking forward to it too. And it's a great way to gather the family together on these kinds of things, right? Because we're all running in different directions.
This is true. So it is nice to just slow down a little bit and take time to be together. And I'm sure there'll be a Guinness or two involved.
Mm-hmm. Just maybe one.
Yeah,
Well, they say there's vitamins in Guinness. I heard that. It's like a low calorie vitamin packed beer.
it's health food. There you go.
Yeah. Pam's
Yeah.
smiling over there. Pam, what are you going to be doing? I think you've got some Irish too, right?
Yep, I am Irish as well. I've got my green on today, and I'm sure I'll be sporting it tomorrow as well. Not a big corned beef and cabbage fan, but what I like to do is I put a little mint milk in my coffee. That's very good. Give it a little Irish
Oh,
green
mint
twang,
milk.
or also a little Irish coffee or some Baileys in your coffee. Maybe start the day off.
That's
So
a
maybe
good
we'll do that
idea. I
tomorrow.
think I have to go to the store today for
Yep.
tomorrow.
And my cigar smoking friends will pull out a Candela wrapper cigar and do that tomorrow, I know.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's spring this week. How about that? And the funniest thing is, only in Rochester, we've had 60-degree weather and 50s today, which is wonderful for the parade. I hope the folks at the parade are having a blast. And there's a family party down there at the hotel, and all kinds of shenanigans happening downtown. So we are going to miss it today, but we're glad we were with you guys, and I'm glad that you joined us, Mike.
Yeah, always glad to be here. I enjoy bringing the information to people, bringing the entertainment. So yeah, always happy to be here.
And what were you doing this morning?
Oh, cutting firewood.
I it's If people listen to the show, they probably think you live on a farm because you're always talking about the tractor and doing things out in the yard. And this morning you're chopping wood, but it's not really a farm, is it?
It is not a farm, not at all. And no, that's too much work.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, and I know you like to get outside. You've been doing a lot of traveling, like you said, so it's great to have you landing back on the show again. And congratulations on 38 years from the first day of your the law practice or the law firm of Michael Robinson opened. So that's something to be proud of and something to celebrate this weekend along with St. Patrick's Day.
That is true. That is true. I'll take a little bit of time tomorrow to reflect on that as well. But it's been a great 38 years. I feel very blessed to be able to do what I do and help families and it's fun. It's fun. So I'm very blessed.
And you're good at it. I mean, the presentations that you do, I've seen them several times actually, are very informative, but also entertaining. So you're a great presenter. You know your craft and you keep up on it. So, folks, we're going to say this real quick. If you have questions about estate planning, talk to an estate planning attorney like Mike Robinson or someone, anyone. Just go to someone and get the right information, someone that keeps up on it because it's so important. And Mike, do you have anything else to say before we go?
Just again, everyone, thanks for spending an hour with us. Have a great week and be well and be kind.
Thank you, Mike Robinson and PHYL Contestable, the Reverend Mother, for being here. I hope everyone had as much fun as we did today. Please join us again next Saturday at noon for another hour dedicated to being positive about aging. Our guests will be Lindsay Penrose from Medicare Specialists, where she's a Medicare specialist with Benefit Reps of America, and Lauren Getz will be here of Everyday Hands. So join us next week, please, and have a fun day today. Enjoy your weekend. We're so lucky that you're listening. Thank you for joining us today. And you know what I'm going to say now. Seniors rock.